What would you do with $1 trillion? Most people say they would buy a house, maybe a car, take care of their family, but the world's most powerful billionaires think on a completely different level. Today we are pulling back the curtain on the 10 richest billionaires on Earth and revealing exactly how they spend their almost incomprehensible fortunes. Some of it will inspire you, some of it will shock you, and number one, will make you question everything you thought you knew about money. Let's get into it. Number 10. Jack Ma, $25 billion, the man who went from English teacher to one of the richest people on Earth, and then almost vanished completely. Jack Ma founded Alibaba in 1999, from a small apartment in Hangzhou, China, with 18 friends, zero outside funding, and one simple idea: connect Chinese businesses to the world through the internet. Within 15 years, Alibaba had become the largest e-commerce company in China, bigger than Amazon and eBay combined in the Chinese market. At his peak, Jack Ma was worth over $65 billion, but in October 2020 everything changed. He gave a speech criticizing China's financial regulators, called them old-fashioned, out of touch, holding China back. Within weeks, Chinese authorities canceled the $34 billion IPO of his fintech company Ant Group, the largest IPO in history at that time. Then Jack Ma disappeared. For months nobody knew where he was. One of the most famous businessmen on Earth, simply gone. His net worth dropped from $65 billion to $25 billion in less than 2 years. He eventually resurfaced, quietly, living between Japan and Europe. He owns a vineyard in France, a mansion in Hong Kong worth nearly $200 million, and keeps an extremely low profile, $25 billion, and a warning that no matter how rich you are, power is always more powerful than money. That is Jack Ma. Number 10. Number 9. Bill Gates, $130 billion, co-founder of Microsoft, and the man who for many years was the richest person on Earth. Bill Gates spends his money in a way that makes most billionaires look selfish. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he has donated over $60 billion to global health, education, and poverty reduction. $60 billion given away. He has committed to giving away virtually his entire fortune before he dies. But he is not living in poverty himself. His home in Medina, Washington is called Xanadu 2.0. It took 7 years to build, cost $63 million, and features a trampoline room, an underground garage for 20 cars, a private library with a domed ceiling, and a swimming pool with an underwater music system. He owns a private jet which he has publicly called his biggest guilty pleasure. And his car collection includes a Porsche 959 that he fought the US government to import legally because it was not approved for American roads. $130 billion, $60 billion given to the world, and one very guilty pleasure jet. That is Bill Gates. Number 9. Number 8. Warren Buffett, $147.8 billion, and the most famously frugal billionaire who has ever lived. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in Omaha, Nebraska in 1958 for $31,500. 1958, the same house, for over 60 years. He drives himself to work in a modest car. He eats McDonald's for breakfast almost every single morning, spending no more than $3.17 for breakfast. When you have $147 billion, he does not own a yacht. He sold his private jet after criticizing private jet ownership for years, then bought another one, and jokingly named it the Indefensible. He has donated over $50 billion to charity, making him one of the greatest philanthropists in human history. He has pledged to give away 99% of his entire fortune before he dies. 99%. $147 billion spent on a $31,000 house, $3 breakfasts, and giving almost everything away. Warren Buffett may be the only person on Earth who proves that the richest people do not always spend the most. That is Warren Buffett. Number 8. Number 7. Bernard Arnault, $147.9 billion, chairman of LVMH, the company that owns Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Bulgari, Moët Hennessy, Tiffany & Company, and over 70 other luxury brands. Bernard Arnault does not just spend money on luxury, he owns luxury itself. His personal art collection is estimated at over $1 billion. He collects works by Picasso, Yves Klein, Henry Moore, Pieces that most museums in the world would pay anything to display. He owns multiple chateaux in France, including historic properties that have stood for centuries. His private jet is a Dassault Falcon, a French aircraft, for a man who built the greatest French luxury empire in history. But what separates Bernard Arnault from every other billionaire on this list is that his spending and his business are the same thing. When he buys art, it influences what LVMH creates next season. When he renovates a chateau, it becomes inspiration for the next Louis Vuitton campaign. $147.9 billion spent on beauty, culture, history, and the belief that luxury is not an expense, it is an investment. That is Bernard Arnault. Number 7. Number 6. Larry Ellison, $192 billion, founder of Oracle, and the billionaire who lives the way most people imagine all billionaires live, visibly, dramatically, and without apology. Larry Ellison bought an entire Hawaiian island, not a house on an island, not a plot of land on an island, the entire island of Lanai, Hawaii's 6th largest island, for $300 million. He owns it, all of it, every road, every building, every beach. His property portfolio includes a Japanese-style estate in Woodside, California worth over $110 million, multiple mansions in Malibu, and a home in Florida worth over $80 million. His yacht Rising Sun stretches over 90 meters and cost around $200 million, and his collection includes a World War II-era fighter jet that he is fully licensed to fly himself. A World War II fighter jet that he flies himself. $192 billion spent on an island, multiple mansions, a yacht, and a warplane. Larry Ellison does not just live large, he lives on a scale that most people cannot physically imagine. That is Larry Ellison. Number 6. Number 5. Mark Zuckerberg, $201 billion, founder and CEO of Meta, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook from his Harvard dorm room in 2004. He was 19 years old. Today he controls a social media empire used by over 3 billion people every single day. 3 billion people. Every single day. His spending reflects someone who thinks about the very long term. He owns a massive compound on the island of Kauai in Hawaii, spanning over 1,400 acres, with multiple homes, underground bunkers, and private beaches. The compound is estimated to have cost over $100 million to build. He owns a collection of luxury cars, including a Pagani Huayra worth over $1 million. He trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu obsessively, competing in real tournaments under his own name. A $200 billion man, competing in martial arts tournaments. He and his wife Priscilla Chan have pledged to donate 99% of their Facebook shares to charity over their lifetimes. 99%. $201 billion, built from a dorm room, a laptop, and an idea that connected 3 billion human beings. That is Mark Zuckerberg. Number 5. Number 4. Jeff Bezos, $249 billion, founder of Amazon. And unlike some billionaires on this list, Jeff Bezos spends his money exactly the way you would expect a person with $249 billion to spend it, visibly, dramatically, and without apology. His super yacht Koru cost over $500 million. At 127 meters, it is one of the largest sailing yachts ever built. It even has its own support yacht just to carry the helicopter that cannot fit on the main yacht, a support yacht. For the helicopter that does not fit on the main yacht, he has invested billions into Blue Origin, his personal space company, spending over $1 billion per year of his own money trying to make space travel commercially available. He bought a $165 million mansion in Beverly Hills, the most expensive home ever sold in California at the time. $249 billion spent on yachts, jets, mansions, space, and a lifestyle that makes even other billionaires stop and stare. That is Jeff Bezos. Number 4. Number 3. Sergey Brin, $269 billion, co-founder of Google, and one of the most private ultra-wealthy people on Earth. Together with Larry Page, he built Google from a Stanford University dorm room in 1998. What started as a research project became the most powerful search engine in human history, used by billions of people every single day. Sergey Brin is famously private about his spending, but what has been confirmed is extraordinary. He owns a super yacht called Dragonfly, one of the largest sailing yachts ever built, stretching over 70 meters. Estimated at over $250 million, he has invested heavily in moonshot projects through Google X, including self-driving cars, delivery drones, and internet balloons designed to bring connectivity to the most remote parts of Earth. He owns multiple properties across California, including estates in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he has funded research into life extension technology, spending millions trying to find ways to slow down and reverse the aging process, not just to live longer, but to live forever. $269 billion spent on yachts, moonshots, and the quest for immortality. That is Sergey Brin, number 3. Number 2, Larry Page, $291 billion, co-founder of Google alongside Sergey Brin, and one of the wealthiest people on Earth. Larry Page is perhaps the most reclusive ultra-billionaire in the world. He rarely gives interviews, almost never appears in public, and has largely disappeared from Silicon Valley social life, but his spending tells a very different story. He has invested hundreds of millions into flying car companies, including Kitty Hawk and Opener. He genuinely believes personal flying vehicles will replace cars within our lifetime. Flying cars. He is funding flying cars. He owns a super yacht called Senses, a stunning vessel estimated at over $45 million. With a full crew and every luxury imaginable, he owns multiple properties across the world, including a home in New Zealand where he has reportedly obtained citizenship, fueling speculation that he is preparing a retreat from America entirely. He has invested billions into life extension research, funding companies trying to cure aging itself, not treat diseases, cure aging. $291 billion spent on flying cars, super yachts, a retreat in New Zealand, and trying to make death optional. That is Larry Page, number 2. And number 1 is not a billionaire. Number 1 is the world's first and only trillionaire, Elon Musk, over $1 trillion. Let that number sit for just one moment. $1 trillion. If you spent $1 million every single day from the day you were born, it would take you 2,700 years to spend it all. 2,700 years. Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire on 2026, when SpaceX went public in the largest IPO in human history, raising $75 billion in a single day. And here is the first thing that shocks most people about the richest human being who has ever lived. He claims to own almost nothing: no mansion, no fleet of luxury cars, no private island. He famously sold all of his houses, every single one. But look closer and the real spending begins. He owns private jets that burn $14,000 of fuel every single hour in the air. He has spent billions building SpaceX, with the personal goal of colonizing Mars before he dies. Not visiting Mars, colonizing it. He spent $44 billion buying Twitter, now called X, $44 billion, on a social media platform, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, XAI. Elon Musk does not spend money on things. He spends money on ideas, on futures, on entire industries that did not exist before he decided to build them. $1 trillion spent trying to change the entire human species and to take humanity to another planet before he closes his eyes for the last time. That is Elon Musk. That is number 1. So there you have it, the 10 richest billionaires on Earth, and exactly how they spend their almost incomprehensible fortunes, from Jack Ma hiding in Japan after disappearing from public life, to Warren Buffett eating $3 McDonald's breakfasts every morning, from Larry Page funding flying cars and trying to cure death, to Elon Musk spending $1 trillion trying to colonize Mars. One question before you go: if you had $1 billion, what would you spend it on first? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Elite Flyer for weekly luxury content, and check out our previous videos on the most expensive jets, cars, and yachts in the world. Links are on screen right now. I will see you in the next one.